Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Mindful Mentor. Today we're going to talk about a topic that most people handle on a daily basis, handling stress. Now, I've heard even the tiny tots talk about how they're so stressed out, and parents talk about how work stresses them out, and parents who stay at home talk about how they have a lot of things to do and a lot of things to meet, but it stresses them out to just think about it. So what are some tips to ensure that you handle stress? Of course, there are a lot of ways to handle stress. It includes yoga, meditation, prayers. But other than this, is there a fail-safe way in which you can handle stress? Yes, these are 4 tips to ensure that you handle your stress and yourself well. Tip number 1, planning. Planning is the name of the game. How do you plan things? Now, when you have a lot of things that you have to do, you prioritize things in terms of what needs to be done on the first or the last or whichever day of every month, and it happens every month on a routine. And to handle things that come in ad hoc, that you need repairs, work to do, reports to submit, which happen not when you're anticipating it. For things that happen on a monthly basis, you can set up reminders and start work. If you have to submit a work on the 1st, the information for it should be collected by the 15th so that you can work on it and get it submitted by the 1st. If you have errands that need to run and they're recurring, you can set up timers and reminders to ensure that they're done. If there are payments that need to be done, set up reminders days in advance so that you do them then and not on the 1st. And these are some good ways for you to plan on things. And prioritizing things happen on the first come, first out basis usually. But when you're in a working scenario, this doesn't work out. Some of them meet deadline. They require to be met on specific deadlines. When you have this, how do you prioritize things? Because they all look like they want to be submitted at the same time. Let's talk about managing expectations here. Managing expectations happens in terms of you ask for how long you have for this and how quickly they need it. And is it more important than task A, task B, or task C? If your colleague at work gives you, or your boss at work gives you a work that requires all to be done at the same time, ask them to prioritize this so that you can do this. So the first step in this is planning. The second step is organizing. How do you get your work done? Like I said, if they're on a monthly basis, you organize them so that they happen to go with the work that you're doing and you don't have to take an extra time in organizing them. However, in terms of things that are newly done, you organize to make sure that they're done. If something can be clubbed in along with other tasks, do them. Get the preparation done so that you have everything ready to do at one go. Organizing also brings us up to the 3rd tip, delegation. There are a lot of things that we can do, but quite often we might require help from others, or we might require the expertise of others to get something done to meet our deadline. In this case, it is very important for us to delegate the tasks. Now, along with delegation, one must also be able to exercise the option of being able to check. This brings us to the 4th step, follow-up. If you have delegated something, be diligent in your follow-up. If your follow-up fails, remember, you have planned and executed, but you've not met the deadline. So, these are 4 tips that you can do. Remember, if you have n number of things that need to be organized and planned and executed for a deadline, the first thing you do is to plan to make sure that you meet it. And the second thing is to have an action based on this plan so that you can execute it. 3rd tip is to delegate work that you cannot do yourself or work earlier so that you can execute it yourself. The 4th step is to diligently follow up on things that you've delegated so that you meet your deadline. And this, my friend, is a fail-safe way of how to handle your stress. If you like the video, click on like, subscribe to get more videos. Do click on the notification at the top or the bottom of this. And if you want to get in touch with me, please click on the link to go to my page, Mindful Mentor. And I hope you have a beautiful and stress-free week.